Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, January 26th, and the big story right now is silver and gold going absolutely parabolic. This stock is the steal of the century. Before that, you can join the Discord for $25 for 7 days. The best stock idea goes in the Discord at 9:30, 9:40 a.m. How it works is everyone wakes up, everyone goes to their trade desks, everyone goes to their firms, everyone goes to their computers, starts buying when the market officially opens. The market does trade in pre-market. Right now, the liquidity starts at 9:30. Silver and gold gapping significantly in futures yesterday. Futures open at 6 p.m. Eastern. And can you buy silver and gold stocks now? I don't think it's the best place to put your money. Copper looks interesting, has a little bit of a breakout opportunity that's slightly delayed, lower risk, certainly looks less parabolic. A stock for that would be FCX. As far as the big stocks, Nvidia doesn't look that interesting right now. Tesla technically does not look that interesting. Of course, the best way to make a decision is to make a decision that is technically sound. And Tesla does have that unsupervised full self-driving breakthrough coming off the heels of that insurance premium reduction announcement. So insurance companies are literally stating, as I talked about in the video yesterday on the channel, if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. It's called Trump's About to Reset Your Money, Act Now. And that's a big deal to have insurance companies say Tesla is so safe that it's actually lower cost to insure than a human driver. Stock ideas for Monday. I think sector-wise, metals ought to be trimmed. New positions in metals is not a feasible stance, in my opinion. This is not one-on-one investment advice. There's not one-on-one investment advice provided in the Discord either. Questions are answered. It is a group community. And on this YouTube channel, same dealio. Other sectors, I think semis as a whole is a difficult one. AMD did have some strength. Intel sold off significantly. I don't think there's a lot of opportunities there right now. Rare earths, USAR did gap up significantly. Government took a stake in MP Materials. It's hard to say if USAR will continue or not. I think it's more than likely going to not have a huge day, even though it is a Monday. There's a lot of buying activity on Mondays. I think the focus is on metals now. People have been shorting silver. It hasn't worked quite yet. Buying opportunities, though, I don't think it's silver either. So oil's been up a little bit recently. ConocoPhillips broke out. There are some other names to keep an eye on. VLO, Valero, is one name. Other sectors don't look particularly interesting. The SPY has been going sideways for, 2-3 months almost at this point. And we still haven't truly regained that bull market that we saw in mid-June after the choppiness of the tariff capitulation, and then that exceptional move in the SPY that we saw in September into October, early October. So until we start to see a little bit of light here, it's a good time to take it easy out there, to not get chopped out too much. It's okay to take positions, but be ready to cut them fast. So that's my outlook on the broader market. Retail names don't look particularly interesting. They had some boosts after earnings in Q3 as those results came out. This week is a big week for earnings. Tesla earnings will be out. So that could be the new setup for this last week of January. Earnings, episodic moves where there's high sales year over year, high increase in EBITDA or margin year over year, really high revenue and high profit, high sales and high profit in the most simplistic form, combined with a solid earnings reaction where the stock goes up and it stays up for a full day. That is the recipe for success buying these earnings moves. It's a very clear risk level with that close where the first day closes after the earnings is released. If the earnings is released in after hours, then you want to look for that close on the following day as a risk level. So fundamentally, I can talk till I'm blue in the face. But I do think technically you have to be extremely cognizant of that level and of your risk tolerance, where you could get chopped out, and people with big portfolios, big in the sense of 10 million, have had a rough go in the past few months. So it's okay to not be doing well, but you have to ask yourself, can you lose 5 entries, 6 entries, 7 times in a row and take those 0.25% of your portfolio losses at most? Really, you could be looking at, let's say you take a 10% position size and risk 1 to 2% on that position. Really, you're looking at 0.1 to 0.2% of a total portfolio loss per each time you get chopped out. So that's really the way to look at it. It's not a loss. It's really a moment where you tried an entry and you got chopped out. And it's no big deal to do that, to lose 0.1, 0.2% of your portfolio in a single trade. So, yeah, you do that 5 times, you could get up to 1% of your total equity. Maybe less. That's sort of how you ought to think about it, in my opinion. So that's the technical lecture, I suppose. In terms of ideas, again, I do think quantums can turn up, but I don't think it's right now. QBTS did sell off. That was the strongest quantum name. Of course, quantum went on a huge run last September. Rare earths were slightly shifted later in early October. So could we see another quantum run now that rare earths are having their moment again? We could, but you want to let the price action give you that indication that it's time to take a look. Not simply the story, because there's nothing fundamentally tying quantum and rare earths together in an independently connected way, such that those two are sympathies to one another. That's not really the case. Sure, you could have rare earths in a quantum computer. You do, in fact. Metals that are used to build these computers, and all computers actually. But there's nothing about those two sectors that implies they're going to run together, as opposed to, say, rare earths and metals broadly, gold, silver, palladium, platinum, which had big runs last week. Those are closer tied to these rare earth momentum, euphoric moves, in my opinion, than the connection between rare earths and quantum. Data center, hyperscaler, providers, clients to Meta, clients to Amazon Web Services. The actual owner-operators of the data centers, Mara, Riot, Cipher, Iron. Cipher and Iron look the best. CLSK, CleanSpark as well, hanging in there, looking like there could be entry opportunities there. Don't see them right now popping off the page, but keep those on watch. Navitas is another hot name that NVIDIA had invested in, NVTS, that has had some momentum. Applied Digital, APLD, additionally having some volume, some momentum recently. So I'd keep those on your radar. Look for an entry there if you are looking for an entry right now. And it's okay to not be looking for an entry. But generally, a way to do it is to look for a flag, to look for a price agreement, and then a break to the upside. And again, the metaphor or analogy I've used before that I think is apt, and it could be refined, but let's say you're at an art show and there's a banana on the wall, and there's an auction for that banana on the wall. And let's say someone bids $500,000, $550,000. And then the bids start to settle at a certain price, $552, and $500, $552, and $750. That's price agreement. And that could go on significantly. That could go on until the auctioneer sells the banana and decides it's sold. And what happens is that banana on the wall, that piece of art, gets taken off the market, essentially. The price doesn't change for a long time. The price wasn't even changing when it was on the market, really. But when there's a significant change in news flow, a significant change in the market for either art as a whole or bananas as a whole, and if there's a change that affects both of those, that banana art is going to be very valuable. And so what happens is, if you own a piece of that banana art, which you can do that with fractionalized art, you can sell pieces of your art piece, you can fractionalize it. When that change happens, your fraction of that banana piece, should you own it before that market move happens in the banana and art markets, becomes more valuable, and you can sell that out. You can sell a fraction of that out. You can fractionalize your fraction and take some profits as that euphoria makes your investment more valuable. So that's what we're doing here. If you have any comments, drop those in the comment section. Any tickers, check out stockscommunity.com. $25 7-day trial trade of the day is going to be dropped in there just momentarily. I'm headed over there right now. Like this video, subscribe,